Hello everyone, it's Roger here for in a lovely cold England, and we have Abe there in sunny California, and it's episode 25 of the Disney Infinity and Beyond webcast presented by BinformationKingdom.com, and we have loads and loads of news this week, a hell of a lot more than we were expecting at this time of the year. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Abe, have you had a good Infinity week?
Yeah, I've been busy building my toy box for Villains Challenge.
Ooh.
It will be the first one I submit finally, but yeah, I've been putting some rigorous hours. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. So hopefully it'll work out.
Yes, my villains have been dispatched, so I'm hoping to have them in the next couple of days so I can finally get around to playing with them. We have got lots of news this week, including the new Marvel, the free figures that have just been released since the last episode. They're out this week in the UK as well. We've got a problem with the Green Goblin. We've got a Rocket Raccoon Collectors Edition. We've got Family Awards. We've got brand new 1.1 figures. We've got some sales data. We've got Travis has sent us a little picture teaser. More Marvel variants and challenges, plus this week's toy boxes. So there is loads for us to try and get through with you guys today. So if you haven't already done so, if you're on iTunes, remember to hit that subscribe button. If you're on for the audio version, same with Stitcher. If you're on YouTube, remember to hit that subscribe button. And also this week we've got the $25 DisneyStore.com promotion or giveaway going on, which will be running to the end of the month, so not that long left on that one, so you just want to check that one out. So now we got all the plugs out the way. Let's kick off first off with the Marvel villains. So we had Yondu, Green Goblin and Ronan, and I'm going to kick this one straight over to Abe because he's been lucky enough to have the three characters. What do you think of them?
I love them. They're fun. Since I have Green Goblin in my hand right now for all the podcast people who can't see it, but we'll start off with Green Goblin. He's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we'll talk about the letdown, the problem with Green Goblin in a second, but he's been fun. I definitely like the way he attacks, his special moves. He throws, obviously his bombs and everything. It's pretty cool. I know I said I'd have video for you guys ready this week. I do. Unfortunately, I had audio issues, but those should be up hopefully tomorrow or the day after. So let's cross our fingers.
Yes.
The next one was Ronan. Very cool figure. Problem I had with him is kind of hard. I don't know if everybody was having this issue. I've heard another person have it, but kind of hard to find Ronan with a good paint job if you guys care about paint jobs. But I searched through like 10 of them and I finally got a good one. But anyways, he plays very well. He uses his hammer, the trigger attack and everything, shoots through the hammer. Good jump abilities, special attacks. And then Yondu, which is one thing that I wanted to clarify. For some reason, Disney's been advertising him as a villain. And, even though in the movie it could seem like he was a villain, but I finally have a clear answer for everybody. If you go to the Hall of Heroes, the new one, obviously the superheroes, the Hall of Superheroes, all the heroes are in blue hologram. And I noticed that the villains are in a red hologram. So when I walked up to the Yondu hologram, he was in blue. So in fact, he's not seen as a villain. But anyways, regardless of the fact, these figures are awesome. My favorite of the three is definitely Yondu. Just love his attacks. Love his little arrow flute thing he uses. And just the figure itself looks really, really cool. If you guys don't have them yet, please pick them up. They're awesome, and I can't wait for you to try them out.
Yes.
Roger. Other than that, they've been really cool.
I suppose, I was looking at this the other day. It's like with Yondu. I'm thinking, well, he kidnapped Star-Lord. He tried stealing the stone. He tried killing the Guardians. He then blackmailed them and kidnapped them again. So I was thinking, yeah, he pretty much falls into the villain category. I was like, I was thinking, well, in all honesty, he didn't really do a lot of. Yes, he fought against Ronan and helped defend the, Nova Corps, but he was doing it because he wanted the stone to be able to sell it. So it was like, well, he wasn't, I was sort of like, well, he's not exactly, fresh and dozy.
I was gonna say if you go off of the comic book or
Yeah,
even if you really look deep into the movie, he's first of all he's one of the original members of the Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah,
and then second in the movie he technically didn't kidnap Peter Quill. He actually first was hired by his
yes, but he
dad
didn't deliver him.
to,
So he
but he
stole
didn't
the
deliver him.
mail. He stole the
But
mail.
but he almost like adopted him, and
Yeah.
so he was technically like his dad. And even in the second time, he didn't kidnap him. The second time, actually, uh, Star Lord actually gave his coordinates so
Yeah.
he can be picked up.
Yeah.
But even though he threatened to kill him, he didn't. He didn't. So ha, no, I don't think he's bad. I
No,
just think
he's
he's
misunderstood.
just he's the middle guy.
Yeah.
He's the Vero. He's not
Yeah.
a hero or a villain.
No.
He's a Vero.
Yes. So yeah. So they're all pretty cool. I'm glad that they're a lot of fun. Hope mine's been
So
dispatched, so I can't wait to get home.
let's talk about this guy though.
Yes, the Green Goblin has caused kind of quite a bit of a stir because
Huge controversy.
in all the trailers, in all the motion videos, everything we've seen him, he's on a glider. Every
Yep.
single picture, every single video, he is flying around on a glider. And the day it came out, then everyone's going, well, where's the glider? It's not in the skill tree. It's not a toy you can purchase. And then someone...
It's not in the playset.
No,
You can't unlock
people have gone
them.
right through the
Nothing.
play. And then someone said, oh, you unlock it in the playset. So everyone then went back through the Spider-Man playset. And, well, basically Disney have pretty much said now that there's going to be an update. I know JV was looking into it. And by the looks of it, it looks like the glider has been lost somewhere and not been activated. And I think, in all honesty, I think it's a major own go.
Oversight. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's like, come on, this is the biggest new release we've had in, what, 2 months since the originals. This should have been sorted. I actually, in all honesty, it's like, no, this isn't good enough in my view. The fact that this should have been sorted. I've only got 3 characters coming out. You've had 6 months extra from when the game got released. Things like this shouldn't keep happening with these little oversights.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a bummer playing them because, like, it's funny. I felt like I was playing the same characters at some point because they all have the same jump. But
Yeah.
you wanted that differentiating move, and that glider would have been for Goblin. But
Yeah.
Green Goblin still looks cool. He still plays fine, but definitely we need that glider.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I was viewing it because he was going to fly. That was kind of one of the things I was going to use. I was probably going to use him more because he could fly. And it'd be a bit like suddenly getting Iron Man and he can't fly. It just you've taken away his major. That's his move. That's what he does. Is he's on his hobgoblin on his glider. That's kind of, it just feels like a major problem not to have that in place. And I know you're paying for it. You should have the ability that's been advertised.
Yeah, that's true. They did mention that he would be in the glider. That's
yeah, so
definitely
there
true.
is a patch coming, and obviously you can pop down like another power disc if you really wanted to use it and get around, but it's not much use in the playset because that doesn't work. But
that's right.
Yeah, it's. I feel that this is a real put a bit of a bummer down on the whole week for that new release. It really did sort of a lot of people complaining, a lot of people not happy that this happened, and I agree. I don't think it should have happened. I'm not sure what's going on with the testing side of things. Whether or not they're testing too much on their build rather than on what we are playing. I don't know if that's the problem.
Well, just to put a little positive spin on that, though, regardless of the glider, these are still fun. They're brand new figures. Honestly, I've been having so much fun with Yondu. His abilities are cool, and then Ronan just to have this big, massive hammer. It's kind of like, usually you need either a power disc or like an actual in-game toy to use a weapon, and he already has one, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But and like I said, Green Goblin still has amazing attacks and moves very well. He's animated pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, it is a bummer we don't have the glider yet. But the fact is, it is coming, so
there is
big deal. We have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they missed the point in not putting in special challenges for them in the playsets. I think that was
that's true.
Now
that's definitely one thing.
JV did say in a interview that basically they pushed back the release of the villains because of what happened with Syndrome and the villains last year, or the
Right.
year before, where reviewers were giving them bad reviews or giving them negative comments because you could play Syndrome versus Syndrome and there was nothing distinguishing and it didn't make any sense to adults.
Right.
And so they decided this year they still wanted to have the villains available, but by not putting them out at the beginning would mean they wouldn't get that negative comments about them not about being able to play Ronan versus Ronan and basically it not making any sense. So on one side of things, I think it's fantastic that we've got some figures in January. You know, we've got 3 new figures. We've still got a few more to come. I love the fact that they're spreading out the characters. I think it's a great idea. I think they should do it more. I think spreading it out and giving us some new characters, new things really helps keep the buzz going. And it's just more exciting, you know, to have new characters to play through. But I do think not adding a few challenges to the play sets, it should have been done. I don't, you know, even if
Even some achievements too.
something
You know.
just to kind of, it just feels like, you know, it it feels like it was just done. I don't know whether it was done last minute or anything, but it just feels like they should have had some challenges or something in that play set. I mean,
Yeah.
at least, you know, last year, you know, everyone had they had the adventure and you had a challenge within the play set, and this year none of that existed. So it is a bit of a shame, but I'm looking forward to jumping back into the Guardians of the Galaxy playset this weekend with Yondu and Ronan and just ploughing through it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's cool. So right, so that is the Green Goblin and the new characters. Now there was also a something else that's kind of popped up this week, which was the Rocket Raccoon Collectors Edition, which is going to be in GameStop. It's priced at $19.99. It's going to be out. Oh, I've forgotten the date off the top of my head. It is going
I
to
believe it's February 16th, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, Valentine's Day. Yes, Valentine's Day. Priced at $19.99, so it's out. And there's been a bit of a mixed response to this as well. Ooh. What do you think of this one, Abe?
Personally, I mean, I like it. A lot of people are expecting a variant figure, but the truth is, last year GameStop did the same thing with Jack Skellington. A lot of people were like, "Well, they did mold him differently." Well, okay, that's a technicality because that
Just
figure
short it.
was, yeah, they just shortened his neck because he was too tall to fit in the case. But fact is, the case looks cool. Is really nice themed. Yeah, for those who already have Rocket and don't want to buy an additional figure they don't need, then don't buy this. You don't need it. The collector in you, if you really, really want it, and you already have the Jack Skellington one, you want to continue the collector value, go for it. Go ahead and pick it up. I do believe it's only going to be available in the States. I don't know if the
Yeah,
UK or other countries will have it, but um, I think it's cool. It gives some people other options. But other than that, yeah, it's not a variant.
no, I mean, I think yeah, they didn't make the box available last year, and they're not going to do it here. Makes my big thing with it is if they had released this in September, right, and it was in the shop, I would have brought it. Okay, I'm gonna admit straight off that if this was out on day one, I would have probably, if in the UK, I would have gone out and got it. I'm not going to ship it to the UK because it's too big and bulky. It's going to cost me a fortune. But if I saw that in the store on day one, or it was available within a week, I would have brought it. Trying to sell it 5-6 months after release, that is where I think they've made a mistake again. It's too late for a, you know, it feels too late, and and I do believe that if they released it at the beginning, they would have got a lot more sales out of it, and it would have done pretty good. Do you agree with that one?
Um, I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, in the fact that I do agree with you with the delayed releases are kind of odd. Um, but let me get back. I'll get back to that point really quick. But I was gonna say no in the fact that Jack Skellington, even though he was released before, then they released that collector's edition a little bit later,
Yeah.
and he became like really collectible. I don't know if it's just because it's Jack Skellington because everybody loves him, but the fact is that GameStop special exclusive
Yeah.
is hard to find.
Yeah. They didn't
So
make
I
enough, did
feel,
they?
yeah, I feel like this could be the same case for Rocket, which is why I'm saying it's okay too. But now going back to the first point about, yeah, it's weird that they're releasing it a little bit later. I have noticed, and I'm sure you have too, isn't it very odd that any retailer exclusive items that they've been releasing for Infinity have all been slightly delayed
Yeah,
somehow? Like, I feel like I don't know if I mean obviously we're seeing it more and more,
yeah,
and then we're seeing like why are they doing this? It almost seems like it's a strategic move to give everybody a fair chance first
yeah,
before they release their exclusive. Um, but again, it's
yeah.
still weird.
It
Why
makes no
6
sense.
months?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's like retail exclusives. I understand why they're doing it. They drop the power disc and they drop the figures exclusive. So that's
Right.
fantastic. Okay, so we've had these albums, and we've had, we had the
The
capsule,
capsules.
and
Yeah.
now we've got this box. Now it just feels like it was all done. It's all been done so late. They didn't really sort of seem to get get it sorted quick enough, and because it's like with collectors, especially the die-hard collectors want it on day one. We
Oh yeah.
want it on day one when it comes. If there's a Power Disc album out now, and there's another, but we don't even know about the other one till 3 months later. It's like how many people have not brought the new albums because they've already got all the discs or already got their albums sorted. So it was,
I'm one of those people.
and that was a thing. I mean, it's like Rocket Raccoon. I want it to be successful, and that's the difference. Is I do want it. I do want that one thing to sell because I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's particularly an amazing idea. It's no different than those Skylander Elite things. It's just been put in a nice little box.
Yeah.
But I just feel like they the exclusive figures and the exclusive items seem to have just been mistimed. Because they're
Hmm.
not being funny, but if the sales for these items aren't very good, the retailers aren't going to want another exclusive.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In line,
Um,
if I was buying, I'm not being funny, but it's just, it's not like they've got an exclusive figure. It's not like Ronan's are only available in Target for a month beforehand, like they did last year with the Best Buy stuff.
well,
I kind
oh,
of, it's odd.
I was gonna say I think that scenario where the retailer is gonna be upset because their stuff isn't selling. I think that's the case for the albums because every store I've been to, they still have albums
Mm.
with the 5 discs. However, I even though it's the same figure, but it's in a cool little case, I still have a feeling it's going to sell
Yeah.
well.
I think it will do well. I think the thing as well with those albums is I think it's trying to release 5 albums within like a couple of weeks. That's a
Yeah.
heavy sale for they're not cheap, $25 a piece. They weren't gonna not everyone was gonna go. But I'm gonna have to buy all 5 of them to be a collector.
And you know what's funny too that you bring that up? It's 5 of those albums, but let's not forget there's also another 2 small original
Yeah,
albums and the disc folio.
yeah,
So that's a total of 8 albums people have to choose from.
yeah.
So
It's just
yeah,
no.
and the capsules. That's
Yeah.
just it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just crazy too much. Right. Also, some other information this week. Basically, JV put out a tweet saying that Disney Infinity has gone up for an award for the 18th annual Dice. They've been entered for the Family Game of the Year. They're up against Lego Batman 3, Little Bit Planet 3, Project Spark, and Trap Team. Ooh. So they're up for an award. So that's great to hear that they've got some recognition for the game. I do hope that they win. I think it would be a good morale boost as well for them to do it. But it's strong competition. It's a strong category. And yeah, I'm not sure, but I really do hope that they do get it. So who knows?
Yeah, same
If
here.
we were voting, we would know what we would vote for. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's on that. But maybe not so much of the morale boost for this, but maybe the biggest morale boost is the NPD data came out, or some of it, which was basically they've put out information from this big group where they have announced some data on what's sold. And here's a few little facts that we had from there. Put up the story on the website there. Okay, so the sales in the US have increased 16% in November and December from the year before. And they're outselling their previous year, and we're outselling our competitor. Well, we know which one that one is. Chaos.
Sound like Kermit to me.
Piggy. No, I don't want to go in there. Yeah, and they put it down to the sort of including new movies like Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Big Hero, but they declined whether or not they would mention Star Wars next year. They've also sold 1.2 million starter packs, and which is an increase of 10% on last year. And that they said that according to early information, the addition of Marvel to Infinity has had a good impact on sales. Globally, Skylanders is still number one, but in the US, Infinity has done very well. And of course, that I don't think that includes the figures. This is just purely on, I think, on just the whole thing overall. They haven't given full breakdown of the data. It's just a few sort of snap points. Skylanders then came back with counting on we're still bigger globally, and and all the rest of it. But generally, sales are up. Sales have increased. It's like I'm thinking, well, yeah, the amount of starter packs they put out this year, last year, could equate of like, well, I know I brought 3, so I only bought 1 last year. How many starter packs did you buy this year?
2 starter packs. Oh, this year, 0.
Oh, last year, yeah. Yeah.
Last year, actually, just 2.
Yeah.
But they were both Disney. So.
Yeah. So this is so it's that kind of figure that like, I brought the collector's edition and the Disney starter pack. Yeah. So the sales of the starter packs have slightly gone up for some collectors. But yeah, I think that's fantastic news. There's no doubt about it. You cannot say that sales going up is definitely a good thing. It's what's gonna keep it going. If the sales are coming through and they're making money off it, that is what's gonna keep bringing them in. They're gonna keep making more figures, more play sets. And that's what it's all about. This Infinity has turned around that entire division. It's completely changed it from a loss-making company to a profit-making company.
Absolutely.
And that's they're gonna ride that train till it doesn't bring any more money in, and I think they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I do think they're gonna have to fix a few things, but that's a slightly different era. It's funny, really. I think it's one of those weird things of when the game first come out for a few weeks, for about a month or so, where we're like, it's amazing compared to 1.0, and gradually over a few months, those little sort of nags they start annoying you more.
Oh yeah. I've been feeling that.
I feel like with the toy box, it is such an improvement over 1.0. I mean, it's a massive upgrade, and it is. But I think it is these little issues and the playset issue is
yes.
Yeah.
That's a whole other webcast right there.
Yeah, oh god, that's a webcast and its own thing, right? So so the sales data is really good. I mean, I think it's fantastic news overall, and there's no doubt about it. You just can't, if sales are up, it's especially with the climate of the way things are, and there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of people coming in, next year. I mean, it depends how many Super Mario's amiibos we're going to have by this time in Christmas. I mean, I see they've already announced the second set of Mario figures for amiibo, and we're going, already? You've only just released one set of Mario figures, and it's like there's going to be 100 of the things.
And it's interesting actually that you bring that up. I mean, we might as well bring that up. I read somewhere in an article that each amiibo figure can only hold 1 save data.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing multiple figures, because if you don't want to delete your Super Smash Brothers data and you want the Mario Kart, then you're going to be deleting everything. So it's interesting.
Also, I think if you put it on one game, all it does is change their outfit.
Oh yeah. Well, for the first games, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously they just were hungry to get those figures out and start making, because they were losing lots of money too.
Yeah, it does sound like a real kind of like, well, I think that they're not being funny, but it's like how many remodes of Mario. I know he's popular, but there's going to be a limit to how many they can put out for every single Nintendo game.
Oh yeah, they're gonna if they release too many too fast, they're gonna fluctuate. I'm sorry, they're gonna saturate their market, own market.
I mean, I've just looked. It's like earlier. I was just like, this new wave of cat. I'm going, another big wave. It's like, how many figures have they announced? So it's like one after. I'm sort of going with them. I don't even know how many they're up to at the minute, but it feels like they've been churning them out and throwing them out as quickly as possible. Literally,
Yeah.
right, get them out on the shelf, sell them. We're going to get as much money out of this market as we can, as quickly as possible, so we can fund the Wii free.
And they've been screwing up too. They've been screwing up by limiting their numbers because there's so many people. You know, if there's a demand, you supply. But
no, but I think they're going the opposite way. They're doing the traditional method of pull back on a few items, make it appear like it's sort of, you know, unavailable. And look, the Skylander Chaos Trap was a perfect example of pure marketing of, you know, before Christmas, you know, people were paying, you couldn't even get it. Of course, then they suddenly just filled the stores with them. It's classic marketing to make demand feel like it's a lot bigger than it is. Because who really wants that villager figure? You know, it was like...
So we have executives from a Diamond Corporation working for Nintendo then, right? They're making...
I mean, some of the figures, it's like, really? The Wii Fit trainer is not that... Well, of course they're going to make less of him. It was like, you know, of that one. There was never going to be a fast...
Or the villager too,
yeah,
but yeah, people still want him.
Well, they want him because he's rare. That's the only reason, because they think he's worth something. It's not...
Well, that's the thing though. They didn't make that many. Like the same, the Wii Fit lady, they didn't make that many. That's why he's rare.
Yeah, but then that's what makes people want to buy them so they can make a profit and all the rest of it. And that's what's stirring this up. And thankfully, Infinity have gone so far away from that. It's not even part of the plan. You know, they don't.
And that's actually segueing into our next topic, which is 1.0 figures.
Yes. Amazon see, it's almost like we've got... Oh, that's Travis's picture for a sneaky peek later. I'll do that one now since it's up, actually. Travis has been down to Walt Disney World, and he took loads of... I think he must have taken a luggage bag full of Vinylmation and Disney Infinity and pop figures, because he's been doing loads and loads of meet and greets with the characters and photo shoots, and they're all going to be up on the website this week. So there's an Infinity one, and he's got pictures of like Stitch and Aladdin, and this picture here of Merida. Really well done. I mean, he's done some... I've got to say, kudos to Travis for doing that. You know, standing in the lines, going and doing the meet and greets. You know, well done. Especially Anna. I was like, how many pictures has he got with Anna and Elsa? And I'm like,
lots.
I was like, really? Did you? It's like you must have spent half your holiday just in line, just doing meet and greets. It's like, I bet Stitch won you because he was walking across right in front of me in Spider-Man the same. It's like, I'm not queuing up.
I was gonna say that's not even the gravity of the situation, because on one of his comments he said that, oh, I spent some great time with this Anna cast member. She wasn't the best one, but, you know, out of all three that I've spent time with, I'm like, oh my goodness, you've lined up 3 times just with Anna alone. Wow. So yeah, kudos to Travis for doing that for us. That's awesome.
So when you see those pictures, we are really going to like try and, you know, he's done such an amazing job on that. And it sounded like he had a fantastic
Anna 1,
time.
Anna 2, Anna 3.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Back on point. Right. So this, the UK Amazon website has listed 6 listings for some new 1.0 figures. Last night I checked again, and now they've actually put up the Holly Shiftwell and the Lightning McQueen packaging, so we can see that now on the screen. They're going to be out on March the 6th. They're out a month after the other figures that we announced earlier in the week. So they've got the 2 new figures. So we've got Holly and Lightning. We also have Tonto and Buzz Lightyear, and we also have Jessie and the Lone Ranger. So they're all in their single packet figures. Now, I know there were some people that were instantly like, well, they've already got the play sets on the shelf. Why are they doing this? This doesn't make any sense. Well, you know, you have to look at it and go, this is a long-term plan. This is about the fact that these figures are coming out. They can put Lightning McQueen on the shelf, and he is going to be there. That figure and the packaging can be there for years. They've pulled away. You know, they need to pull out of the playset problem, because people are picking up the playsets and they're not working when they put them on the new game. When you pick up Lightning McQueen, you've just got it's no different than going and picking up you know, Maleficent. It just means that Lightning McQueen is on the shelf for people to buy. because there's lots of new people joining the game every year. And when the next 3.0 and 4.0 and 5.0 comes out, Lightning McQueen they can keep putting them on the shelf or keeping them online. And that is why it's like this. This is not being done, it's a long-term plan. They already said last year that they were going to be re-releasing Sully, Jack Skeleton, or Jack Sparrow and Mr. Incredible. This is being done, no different than the Skylanders doing their remodes, but they're not remolding them, thank God. It's just new packaging. I mean,
it's the same exact figure, same paint job, nothing variant, nothing new. It's just to make it fresh and new for all the new players.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, that playset piece is going to confuse all those new 2.0 people.
Yeah, so that's why. So they're all going to be available individually that were in the playset. If you haven't already picked them up, go out now and try and find the playset packs, because the playset packs, I know even in the UK, you can pick up the playset pack for like £10, and you'll get 2 figures, and you also get the playset piece, which will unlock all the toys, or you can spend £12 on one figure. So, but once those playsets are gone, that'll be it. They won't be back. It will just be these new single figure releases. So that's really down to you to try and, if you haven't got them, pick them up now while they're cheap, because I think once they... It's just a bit odd, because some stores are selling out of their 1.1s figures. They're putting them on sale, they're putting them on discount, and yet now we've suddenly got a load of ones that are 18 months old coming out being repackaged.
So all you people holding on to your Violets and your Syndromes and your Francescos, trying to make a profit, get rid of them now, because once they're released again, they're not going to worth much.
They're not even released again. I mean, they're just always going to be available. Whether or not they're in...
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Whether or not they're
because a lot of people have been waiting for those. So
I don't really get that, because I can go and all the stores pretty much. If you want it, you can find them online.
Yeah.
And I think this is more maybe not necessarily for every retailer. This is for the online retailers, and also maybe the big Toys R Us, which we can still have the space to put out the original figures. Let's be honest. Lightning McQueen is going to be a strong seller for years on his own. Holly, probably not.
Oh yeah.
But Lightning, and Buzz, these are characters that are going to sell for years, and they can still make money off of them. So
absolutely.
I think it's great. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really cool way of getting sort of people into it, and it's like thinking, well, maybe it's that thing as well of, release them all as single figures and do something different with your playset pieces. Might make more sense long term. But the fact that they're re-releasing them, probably means that we're going to get maybe the Marvel ones next year as single characters as well, possibly.
Yeah. And this also opens up the possibility of them just randomly releasing a new figure with corresponding franchises. Like, let's say, what if they released the Frozone for the Incredibles? Because you're no longer limited to that playset anymore. Yeah. So
I mean, this is the thing. They can do what they, and I think that's what they need to, they already did it this year, I keep saying this year, but in 2.0, they didn't do any of the triple packs. They didn't do any of the, they didn't go down that line. They, even the toy box, the twin packs. We've got the Aladdin one coming out, but that's the only one they've done. They haven't done it for anybody else.
Right.
Everything's gone to single figure packaging, which I think's a stronger move. It looks better. It's less confusing.
Yeah.
Though I have just ordered the Jasmine toy box pack. I've actually ordered it from Amazon in Germany because it's a month before the UK release. But and I'm like, okay, it's like, because it's, I think that all these extra packaging. It's a lot going to be on the shelves. There's so much on the shelves when you look at everything. There's only a limited amount that they can do. It is a bit odd that they put out these 1.1 figures this late, but maybe they had to allow 6 months for people to clear out the playsets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's a cool thing, really cool. Last bit of news was JV put out there was an interview on Superhero Hype talking about basically having more characters from Marvel coming after 2.0. They asked, I think you know the answer to this based on the release calendar for the 1.0 characters, but are we going to be seeing more of the Marvel characters later on after Loki and Falcon? Is that for this go around? And Vanocchi answered, the way I answer this question is, this is the end of the Marvel, that is the end of the Marvel characters that are being integrated into 2.0. However, Disney Infinity is a growing and evolving platform, and we will continue to support Marvel as the franchise continues to grow. So that is very much along the lines of Marvel's around long term, which it wasn't rocket science.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they just stopped and then next year no more.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Marvel is now part of Disney. They are, we've got Ant-Man, we've got Abe's looking at his cat there, I think.
Yeah, that's my cat. Sorry.
We've got Ant-Man, we've got the Avengers, we've got sort of the Inhumans, we've got Black Panther, all these movies coming out over the next 3-4 years.
Miss Marvel. It's Captain Marvel.
Right. Well, she was Mrs. Marvel. She was Miss Marvel.
Okay, but this is Captain Marvel.
It was Miss Marvel. That's what. There was also a question about about alternative versions, which kind of was a segue for the PlayStation Vita version. They're saying, as fans requested that kind of stuff, we'll do more of it. Even with a costume swap, we've had a lot of people. It's cool, but I want the full figure of it. So we're definitely going to be dabbling more into that as time goes by. So that is, and then there's a quick note here of saying the thing what happened in the first game was we released the villains, and then journalists who were reviewing the game said it in their reviews. While it's cool that it was negative that they couldn't. So that was a follow-on from a previous comment. But yes, so there we go. So that was basically variants are back on the table, and there's going to be more Marvel, which is fantastic news for me. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I think the thing is with this variant idea is they kind of put all of I think that maybe the failure of the class of the crystals put a big sort of dump down on the variant figures, and then they've maybe kind of done a U-turn and gone, actually there's a maybe a good reason to do this if it makes sense.
Yeah, as long as they do it limitedly, you know what I mean? Like, just don't do too many, but just a nice few
Special
ones that people are want. Yeah, exactly. And I still think, even though they ran away from the theme park exclusive idea, I think they can still do something like that. They just, I don't know, but
I think they've
Paradise at least.
Yeah, I still think they don't seem to like the concept of anything majorly exclusive. Because it limits money, because they want it in every store to get as much cash as possible, but they don't seem to like to alienate any possible customer. They're a lot more. They seem to be a lot more sort of into the idea they've got to try and keep as many people as happy as possible. They're always going to get complaints, but
I will believe that statement until I see Black Suit Spider-Man in an individual package.
It will. I can say it will be there eventually. What year it will be in is different. But,
see, that's what I'm talking about.
I honestly could sit and go, all right, have we really got a way of them knowing that they're not going to re-release something? They've not said it's limited edition. They've not said it's limited edition, 5,000 to those starter packs, or they've not specifically come out and said we're not releasing this as a single. It could be out on the stores a month after the Vita version. You just don't know. They just don't know.
Well, on a tweet to JV, he did say at this time it's only going to be the Vita, but at this time,
is a basic,
I know,
yes.
But it's not a yes or a no. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Okay, so any other bit of news for this week, we have got all the new Toy Box challenges have been revealed right up until the 18th of February. So these are all the Toy Box challenges. So this week we've got the Marvel villains. So you've got to pick one of your Marvel villains to inspire your Toy Box and mash it up with your Marvel favourites. So that's due by Wednesday. Next week's challenge,
I know.
It's the Lion King. If you can't wait to be king, this Toy Box challenge is for you. I was flicking through my through the Toy Box last night and started doing things, trying to find what Lion King stuff there is. I found a Timon and a Pumbaa, and you've got those texture, and I'm going, there's not a lot to work on, but
Wait, you found a Timon and a Pumbaa?
there's a townspeople.
Oh, town people. I
Yeah.
was about to say like toys or something.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
get it.
No, don't start them off on that.
I was like, do
Yeah.
you have an inn? Or
Yeah.
something?
4.0. Yeah.
Oh wow, man! Look at you.
Yeah. And then we've got the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. From the 29th to the 4th. Build a toy box to train up your new S.H.I.E.L.D. recruits. And then we've got Multiplayer Showdown, which this challenge is only make it multiplayer. I'll be skipping that one because I can't train. I can't try it out. I can't try it, so I'm gonna skip that one. And then we've got the last one, which is the 12th of February to the 18th of February, which is the Aladdin. So you've got to create a whole new world. That will tie straight into the Jasmine being released. So remember how this works is the dates I've been saying. That's when you've got time to build it, when they've got to be submitted. They have to be submitted within those dates, and obviously it takes a couple of weeks usually for them for us to be available. But those are when they've got to be submitted. So they look pretty cool. Like I said, I've just submitted my Marvel's Villain one last night. Started work on my Lion King one. I'm actually even toying with because the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. one is going to be out while I'm away, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that one built.
I'm just trying to cram through my villains one. Finally get finished one, so we'll see how that goes.
Cool. And then finally we get to this week's toy boxes, which were the Battle Race challenges. They're all based around races. So first off, we had the Star Wars race by Matt X, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not attempting my French. En course de l'univers de la Star Wars. My GCSE French is. So that is a rather cool toy box. Now, what I loved about this, and this isn't necessarily about the fact that it was the fact it was number one, but it was the Star Wars race. It says Star Wars in the name. It says Star Wars in the description, and they put it as the first choice. Last year, if you put Star Wars or Marvel in, they weren't going to pick it. They didn't pick anything with Star Wars or Marvel in. They did one toy box, they never mentioned the word Star Wars. They did you could do a cannon run kind of thing.
That's what I was gonna say because I played that one.
Yeah, but they never there was no mention of Star Wars in it. It was a hint. This is specifically they've put a number one as a Star Wars race. Now, obviously, we've got the lightsaber and we've got things in, but last year they for example they wouldn't put up anything that was Marvel, but now we've got a Star Wars race as number one with it particularly in the name. So I think that's quite a big deal for me. I'm maybe looking into it a little bit more and thinking that's a good sign. That's the fact that they're acknowledging that they wouldn't put a Despicable Me toy box at number one, would they? So
no,
exactly. So
jeez.
Yeah.
I know you're still on challenge, but tying into that, they just recently released Star Wars comic book issue 1, and it's by Marvel. Yeah. So coincidence? I don't know.
Yeah. And the amount, it's coming this year. So it's just a little nod. The fact that I thought that was quite interesting. The fact that the number one wasn't called Star Wars. I thought that was quite a cool thing. The toy box was really cool. The pod race, a really different way of looking at a racetrack. It wasn't sort of your traditional sort of way. You got on the vehicles from Guardians and stuff, pod racing. Oh, it was really cool. Enjoyed that. I'm just like, ooh, Star Wars toy boxes.
Well, you guys heard it here first. We are officially confirming that we think it's gonna be it.
No. We're not confirming anything.
We're confirming that we think. Keyword think. Yeah. That Star Wars is going to be in it.
We don't like the word confirm until I have a press release.
Well, you can't really confirm what I'm thinking, so I get that. Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's a really cool thing that Star Wars has been. It's obviously there. It's allowed. That's a cool thing. We have the Phantasmic Race by Diz Explorer.
That was cool. That was a cool one.
Disney Classic Clash. Which is what I liked about both of them is the fact of how as you were racing around, they were both going through different zones.
Yeah.
You'd be in different things, and I thought that was a really cool way of doing it. Battle of the Town, which was a battle race, and then you had Baroness Country USA. Really cool ones. I've always enjoyed the racetrack element to Infinity. I think I think it was the best thing from 1.0 for the toy boxes. If you built a toy box with a racetrack, it was the only thing that had structure. But so I thought they were all really cool toy boxes. I still think they need to work on maybe adjusting the mechanics of the racetrack, because it still feels like it is just a 1.1 race in 2.0. You got all the cars. They're still doing those annoying "Hello Holly, hello Mater, hello Holly, hello Mater, hello Holly, hello Holly, hello Holly, hello Fresco, hey Francisco, hey Francisco," and you're like, "Oh, shut up!" Do you not find that annoying, or is it just me?
See, I don't, because I'm usually winning the race, so they're way behind me, and I can't hear them at
All
all.
right.
So
All I'm getting is like, "Hello Francisco, hello Francisco, hey Holly, hey Holly." And you're like, "Shut up!"
I can see how that could be annoying. Yeah.
Maybe because I did 4 or 5 racetracks like back to back over now. I'm like, "Shut up already! I've had enough of like, hello Holly." I think.
That's
So
funny.
so that was. I'm like, please put some different. Try and change that up. Put some of the characters on vehicles, or do something. So it's not all just the car characters, because I was just like, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
That's my little
it's kind of like,
yeah,
I was gonna say, it's kind of, how they incorporated sidekicks
yeah.
to fight with you. Maybe they can have them drive cars from now on.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
vehicles or
You're
something.
just a townsperson inside of a car, or something.
Yeah, exactly,
I don't know.
exactly.
I like the fact. I like the fact that they've got the car characters in it, and I think it's a great way of keeping them in the game and giving them something to do. But yeah, it was just like it. It literally they've just picked up the racetrack and popped it down and not made any adjustments to.
Well, there was some. I mean, you got your barriers on the curves, and you got various new little toys you
I
can
mean,
use within your racetrack.
I also find, like, with the racetrack, I find the driving so much more easier than I did in the first game. I still
Yeah,
fly
I see that too.
I fly off the side a lot more, but a little less than I did in the first game. It's a lot easier control, a lot better. I find the races a lot more, just a lot better. The one thing that bothered me when I was building my entry for this racetrack, Radiator Springs Piston Cup or something,
Is the
was
name? Yeah.
was the fact that you can't apply any logic to it. You have to you build your racetrack and you have to leave it at that. So you can't, like, you couldn't really connect it to any other logic toys. It was just as it was, and so watching a few of the people that have done these racetrack challenges, they created them different. They used like barrier points to make you go around the track, and sort of had you collecting points and trying. I mean, there was that one where you had to try and collect the orbs while you were going around. It's like, so hold on, you want me to concentrate on winning and getting the orbs? I can't do the two things at once.
Right.
So I'm it's like, I'm a bloke. I can't do two things at once.
Well, when you say logic to the racetracks, like what kind of logic are you wanting them to add?
Well,
Like,
you can't create, for example, you can't link it up to a toy box sort of challenge maker, so it starts and stops. You can't link it up to a results, so you can't. For example, if you got a really cool result, it doesn't show up at the end of how well you've done compared to your friends. You can't link like you can with other toy boxes, or you could you can make your toy box and create it so how fast you've gone through the toy box, and then you get a list and you compare it against your friend. Well, you can't link your time against a time results, which I was hoping that you might have been able to have done. Or
so that's what you're referring to. Okay.
yeah, and then I was just trying to think what else. There was a few things I was trying to do. Fireworks, instead of like if you finish it, you want fireworks to go off. Well, that you have to do it. I ended up doing it as like a trigger point, but you can't.
What did you do with the race gates?
Yeah,
if you connect with the race
that's
gate.
the other way. You've got to kind of do a worker. But that actual racetrack piece that you put down, you can't connect any logic to it. It's just a pure.
Gotcha.
I still think it was still one of the best sections, was being able to put that down. And as long as you connect it up right, the entire race mechanism works pretty well. And I think that's still a very very cool thing with Infinity, and building racetracks is so much easier than it was in 1.0. You know, it was so hard to do it. Now, I mean, I don't really tend to like using the automated toys too much because they're just so random. I'm an adult, so when I tend to build a toy, there's a lot. You know, you think, no, that doesn't look right. But as a kid, we'll just go, yeah, go around and so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's quite fun. I thought building for these racetrack ones because learning to build a racetrack is actually just quite a skill to it. Because you put too many straights in it, it's boring. You put too many bends in it, it becomes unplayable. You know, it takes quite a bit of practice to get a really cool racetrack. So I've got to say kudos to everyone that won that one, because there was some really cool racetracks, and I think it's a really cool idea. Right, so that there was all of the toys. I think we've pretty much run through it's a big list. I haven't seen a list. We haven't had a list this long for our show for months. It's like suddenly lots of little bits, lots of sort of little snippets.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So what we're going to do next week's show is going to be it'll be out like a day, I think either a day earlier or on time, because of a vacation coming up. So we're going to be recording that this week. So there will still be an episode, and then we will have the following week. It will be a day late because of me getting back.
So, what's our next episode going to be about, so everybody knows?
We are, because there's not going to be enough news between now and tomorrow morning, we are going to be just basically picking 5 things each that we want to improve for the future game. It's going to be it's going to be all over, allowing us sort of just time to do it, and just, you know, we want to choose what we think is going to be what we want to see improved for the next game. So I'm going to get my thinking hat on today for that.
That's right.
But yes.
I mean, and I just want to make sure that you mentioned, the reason why I wanted you to make sure to mention that is because if there's some new information that you guys find out about Infinity within the next week, there's a reason why you won't hear it on the next episode. So just wait for the next episode after that, and you'll get a load of news after that.
So there might be none. There might not be any.
And then we did a good job.
So no, it's but if you're on the YouTube channel, I did actually just I brought a new app for my iPad, so I can make up very basic video if a bit of news comes up while I'm away. I might be able to get. Depends on the Wi-Fi in my hotel. That's just, or if the Wi-Fi in the hotel is awful, there'll be very
no
limited.
Updates.
If on my on my last couple of holidays, I had free Wi-Fi in the hotel. Fantastic. Could update the site and be great. But I've also been on it where you've got 20 minutes and you've got to stand on the bed with it up in the air to get Wi-Fi, and you just no, that's not gonna work. So should
use the old coat hanger trick.
Yes.
Still.
So next week's episode is going to be a slightly different format. We are just going to be literally just talking about the top 5 things each that we want to see improved for the next game. And this isn't restricted to anything. It can be. We might be talking about. I'm sure the play sets will be one of the things we'll be mentioning. And I'm sure one of us will be doing it. I think it's going to be make a top 5 and then have like 2 spare ones in case.
There's like 2 subs, yeah.
Just in case. Because damn you, Nick.
Yeah, we have to cross each one while each one. Yeah, that's why we're gonna have to take turns just to play it safe.
That was mine. Okay, guys. So, like I said, we have got that competition running at the minute. So, if you subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and you can comment on that video, make sure you comment on that video, not on any other videos, because they'll be using like a program to pick the winner from that one. That one's going to be running till the end of the month for a $25 gift certificate. Perfect for Ronan or Jasmine when that one comes out. So big thank you to everyone that subscribed. We've had a really good month this month. Lots of things coming. We have got, as you can maybe see, we've slightly changed around the colours and stuff of the YouTube channel and on the websites. This is phase 1 of a new thing that we're working on, which is about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks away from when we're going to be unveiling sort of a slight change, and don't worry, it's not actually going to change anything for you guys. It'll just look a little bit more pretty. But yeah, we are working on a few things just to kind of start off the new year, and, new look of paint and all the rest of it. So this is there will be a few changes coming up in the next couple of weeks. It's that time of the year where everyone sort of sits back and goes, right, okay, new year, time for a few little adjustments and a few little changes and stuff. But yep, still delivering the same content and all the rest of it. Okay, so that is that thing. Just kind of giving everyone a heads up. I love it. It's like I did up this wallpaper. Abe can't see it yet, so unless he's seen it on last week's show, where I've got all these little
I did see it.
all these little silhouettes going on the bottom, and I think I'm just going, oh, that looks rather cool. You kind of see all the different characters and stuff there. But
yeah.
Yes. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. You can find us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram. We're also just sorting out all the other ones.
We're working on Pinterest eventually.
Well, we've just started working on it, but I'm not putting it out there just yet because it's not quite ready. But yes, so there we go. So we've got there's so many social things now. It's just like, I could spend, I put one story up on the website and I've got to go then through 150 social media stuff just to get it out there. But yeah, so that is pretty cool. But yeah, so you can get out of us on Twitter and Instagram and all the rest of it. Subscribe to the channel, do the RSS feed.
Yeah. Carrier pigeon, mail, UPS.
There's so many stuff out there. It's hard to keep up with them all. And when you're an old folk like me, there's ones that come up and disappear, and the kids are talking about. There's like some of the lads that work for me at work. Like, is there any new social stuff I need to be aware of this week? No, okay. And like so.
Snapchat, come on.
I still don't get Snapchat. I'm really old here. My brother does it to my and I'm like, well, send me a picture I can look at it. By the time I've got it out, looked at it, then showed my wife, it's gone. It's like,
and so you know what? Congratulations, you just use an app that's actually a phone. You just see it once and it's gone. Just like you hear it once and it's gone. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
My own mind goes useless.
Anyways. Subscribe.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
See you later. We won't go on the whole sub-spiel on, being old and having to deal with social media.
Yeah, you're depressing me.
I am so glad I didn't have this at school. I am so glad. I'm being real old here. It's like, in my day, you left school and you just could leave it.
In my day, we had floppy disks.
We did. You used to have to go to school with a big floppy disk. Kids are now going, floppy disk? It's like, I sort of sit there now and I'm thinking, right, I've got this USB device which I'm going to be putting this show on, 32 gigabytes. And I'm thinking, I used to have a floppy disk that used to take, was it? I think like the big 5.5-inch ones were like 1 megabyte.
1 megabyte, yeah.
I did be like, how can I do all my work all day at college on a 1 megabyte disk?
It's crazy.
Just crazy. I just put in like high-speed broadband at work, and I'm like, oh, look how quick. It's like everything's being uploaded at work now. I can't be bothered doing that. It's so quick.
I was going to say, you think that's crazy? 64 gigabytes on this micro SD that goes into my GoPro. It's like, wow, that's ridiculous. But anyways.
Anyway.
Sorry, guys. We went off a huge tangent here.
We're just two middle-aged dudes. Like, remember the days. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. And I'm sure the last
Thanks for watching.
I've been very riveting. But yes.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back.
And then, take care, guys.
See you later, guys.
Green Goblin. Look, this is his floating thing. Concrete. Concrete is his hovering craft. Woo!
So you can see what he's doing. So this is what we have to do when we stop recording. But I'm gonna actually hit the stop recording button now.
Oh, look at me! I'm Green Goblin.
It is an improvement, isn't it?
Yes, I look very good. But